want to play for you. I got to end on time today. I have several business meetings before going over to America's Got Talent, Robin.
Dude, you sound important.
Yep. Yeah.
You business meetings.
Well, I do. I have good meetings.
Good for you.
Nothing ever comes of them, but I do have good meetings.
It's always good to meet.
And now we have a bunch of meetings today. But I do want to just play. Here's Mike Tyson. He's on. He's out promoting. I forget where this is. I wish I had more details, but
it's in Canada.
Yeah, it's in Canada, some other country. Barely another country. It's almost like our country, but he's in Canada. A reporter starts bringing up rape charges, and fucking Mike takes off on him. Mike looked like he was going to fucking just squeeze his neck till it exploded like a pimple.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He didn't touch the man,
No,
did he?
no. Mike had it under control, but...
The first time probably in the history of Toronto where the mayor is bigger than the host.
Yeah, Mike visited that wacky mayor.
Toronto.
Yeah, it's in Toronto.
City. And he's a bigger celebrity than everybody in the city. Everybody wants to see the mayor. And he's a really dynamic character.
Right, so did you read up on him? You sort of been following
I didn't read up on him. I watched him on television.
Right.
In the States. In the States. And, he's a big hit in the States. He's a big hit.
Now, some of your critics would say, there's a race for mayor. We know you're a convicted rapist. This could hurt his campaign. How would you respond to that?
Hey, I don't know who said that. You don't even know who said that. You know what I mean? And I don't have no comment to that, because it's negative, and you're being negative. And I met the mayor,
right.
And nothing they can do about it.
We actually had a really good time. We talked about George Cervallo, who's a legend in your city, a great man with whom Mike spent quite a bit of time yesterday talking about his life, highs and lows.
It's so interesting because you come across like a nice guy, but you're really a piece of shit.
Hey,
that
come on,
that was a piece of fuck you. That was a piece of shit.
We're doing live TV now.
I don't care. What are you gonna do about it?
All right, you got a show that you're doing tonight.
We are.
A lot of people
are where it comes raw, and it's the real truth.
Yeah, a lot of people will be there to see your show. Just tell us a bit about it.
It speaks for itself. Everyone saw the show.
All right. It's a Broadway production. It went to Vegas. It went to actually 28 cities in the United States.
Is it nerve-wracking for you to do something like this, or is it more nervous for you to box? How does it compare?
I don't know. It's more nerve-wracking for me here talking to a rat piece of shit like you.
Come on, Mike.
Because you're a piece of shit.
All right.
You really have to.
We're gonna wrap up this interview. Thank you for coming in.
Fuck you.
That's a nice intro interview.
Yeah, that was good interview.
Wrap it up. Fuck you.
That's like whenever I watch interviews on TV, they're so goddamn boring. This is a good one. And I bet you Mike sold out a lot of tickets with that. Yes, Chris, you're on the air in Paintsville, Ohio.
Paintsville.
By the way, I just was telling Slash how I was like a martyr. I go, yeah, I'm doing this show this morning, then I got to go over to America's Got Talent, work till 11 o'clock tonight. And he was like, wow, that's impressive because you got some work ethic. I'll tell anyone I meet that my day goes till 11 o'clock at night because I only want sympathy. Hey, Chris, are you there or not? Dude. Roman, go ahead. You're on the air.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello.
Roman and Cleveland.
Hi, Howard.
Yeah, hi.
So nice talking to you guys. Big fan. Just wanted to thank you going back to your birthday show. What an honor to be there. I mean, it was unbelievable. Seeing all those guys, the performances were great. So
I got to tell you, it was unbelievable watching Slash with this band. I don't know how it sounded on the radio. It was very
sounded great.
Good because watching the dynamic of him playing with this band, I have to say I will go see their live show because it was that good. And in my imagination, was that singer exceptional?
No, he was really good.
And the bass player was doing the harmonies with him, and the two of them fist bumped afterwards because I could tell they had nailed it. Like it was so good.
And going back to 9/11, every year I listen to your show, 9/11 show, and it beats any documentary they might do on on the TV or whatever, because it just takes you back to that day.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're a better man than I am. I cannot listen to that broadcast. When I hear it's on, I have to turn off the radio because it makes me so angry. I still, to this day,
I don't listen to anything or watch anything 9/11.
I have to admit, I can't take it because the level of anger that lives inside of me over that event, what what those fucks had to do when they had to fly that goddamn plane into those towers. And you know what I do every year for, it's, you know, the Daily News prints the names of everybody who died in the building, and there's a guy I know who died in the building, and he was a friend of mine more when I was in high school and started college. We saw each other once or twice over the years. I hadn't seen him in a long time, but I consider him a friend, even though he fucked my girlfriend behind my back. Well, that's another story. But
hey, you know.
hey, look, you know, you take the good with the bad. I didn't care. What the fuck you gonna do? You know,
Well, he's dead now.
this guy.
I'm not talking about it.
I never held a grudge because this guy was 50 times better looking than me and had a 50 times bigger cock, and I understood. If I was a girl, I would have been with him too. But
Help it.
But anyway, he happened to. He was he had a big catering business, and he was, you know, he worked in kitchens and stuff. I worked in a kitchen with him, and he went on in the catering business, and he happened to be catering a breakfast that morning at the World Trade Center. And oh shit, I go in the Daily News and I read his name to see that it's there every year, and I read it and I get so fucking pissed off, you know. And then Beth had a friend who died in there too, and his name also, his last name starts with an M, and they're right next to each other almost, and we just stare at the names. I mean, it's so crazy, but
no, I can't even imagine like being in New York, like having friends or, God forbid, relatives that died that day.
I can't imagine either.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And finally, I just wanted to ask you, you know, I've heard you for years talk about TM, and I actually, after looking into it, you know, I know that my wife and I, we would benefit from it big time, you know. But when I basically looked into it here and found an instructor for it, I didn't realize it was over like $2,000.
That's right. Well, let me help you through that. So you hear $2,000. First of all, there isn't a day in my life that I don't thank, the universe for transcendental meditation. And I'm being serious. I do it, and it's a lifesaver for me. Now, to think, when I started doing it, at the time, the price was a couple of $100. Now, you say, and I remember saying to myself, oh my God, that's a couple $100 I don't have. Now, here's a technique that I used the rest of my life. They never asked me for another dime. It's so they can support these transcendental meditation centers and have teachers. So let's say you paid $2,000. Would you pay $2,000 for a drug that would make you feel good for the rest of your life? Of course you would. You would do anything to get it.
Yeah, right.
So when I think of $2,000, while $2,000 is a lot of money, it's a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. I know that. But I think it's $2,000, and it's a one-time payment for something you can use the rest of your life. You know, I always think of this technique as a lifesaver and something that changed my life and made me feel good. That I can't imagine that for $2,000 to have that the rest of your life, if you put it over the course of years, it's not a lot of money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, I get it now.
I enjoy it.
How many things that you spend money on are disposable? You won't even be using them 6 months to a year.
Right.
That's true. But I don't like to proselytize. I don't like to proselytize, and I'm not a salesman. I don't work for the organization. I just know what it did for me, and more importantly, what it did for my mother. It changed her completely. The woman was a very depressed woman and tough to live with during her massive depression. But
and you've been doing it for a long time, right?
Since I'm 18 years old. Now, I mean, I could have said at 18 a couple of $100. It's too much money, which it was. I mean, it was crazy money. My family didn't have money, so you know, to put up a couple of $100 was a lot. But by today's standards, I mean, I paid a couple of $100 for a technique that I've used the rest of my life. All right, Roman, I got to go.
Oh, thank you. Any games, though?
I don't have a game tonight, Roman. I'm so sorry. I mean, this morning, whatever it is. Yes, Lisa, go ahead.
Hey, Howard, how are you?
All right.
I just wanted to call and say you're awesome. I have an hour commute to work every night, and I listen to you, and all that my shift is, you make it great.